Danielle, I want to talk about Aleshia Ocasio. She wasn't here a week ago. Now she's back, and it's absolutely wonderful news to see her again.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic that she's back. I love that she went home and had to take care of business and got that done. But what I dig is she's still in the top 10 on the leaderboard, and she missed a full weeks of play. So when I look at her being that two-way player, someone that can swing a big stick but also have her own back in the circle, means that she can only continue to push herself back up the leaderboard. And I know everyone here is ecstatic that she's back because she is that big of an impact player.
The mission of the foundation is to increase opportunities for Black girls of color in the playing field to the boardroom. I'm happy to say that our children, Frankie and Tracy Green, played on these very fields and now are coaches and serve on very prominent boards. So it's with thankfulness and gratitude that I can fill out this first page.
And with that, we are underway. Just a gorgeous late summer day here in the Chicagoland area. First pitch temperature 61 degrees. Maybe a little apple picking for us after this game. This is apple picking, pumpkin patch walking type of weather. Sun splashed, and we're going to play two games. Danielle O'Toole will start our first one. She's in the circle. And for a little bit more on her, Danielle, Lori, what do we have?
Well, yeah, I love that Janie Reed picked her up right away because Danielle O'Toole has just continued to get better as the weeks go on. She's coming from that left side, but it's been impressive because the first couple weeks were humbling for those pitchers, but she's someone that's really just started to figure it out and found ways to hit better spots. She's 3-2 so far with 2.97 ERA with 37 innings pitched and 12th in Athletes Unlimited, and I've just been impressed by her with everything she brings to the table because this league can at times be stressful for those pitchers.
Well, in this league, defense is so important because the hitters are so good. You need to kind of make the plays that are available to you. It's going to be O'Toole and Monroe as the batter. Left side of the infield is Sanchez and Flippin. That's airtight. Clifton and Chittister on the right side, and an outfield of Janie Reed in left, Kylan Becker in center. Jasmine Jackson is going to be the right fielder. This league offense has been ahead of pitching so far. More home runs than doubles. There has been at least one home run in every game played. This is now the 19th game of Athletes Unlimited Softball, and we are underway. Big hack, Morgan Zirkle fouls it back to the screen. Zirkle, Warren, and Piancastelli. Teams change every single week here in Athletes Unlimited. 57 women now, and they're all divided into 4 teams each and every week. It happens on Tuesday, and you see the games Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So it takes a while sometimes for teams to gel and figure out which positions are best for everyone and how they want to cover situations. But it's pretty fun watching that gelling happen. Ball and 2 strikes to Zirkle.
And I love that it's continually changing every single week because it allows for the athletes to have to adapt and at times be uncomfortable, but that's the beauty of it because you learn to figure yourself out a little bit more. And we've seen some consistent patterns with players on certain teams, but for instance, Victoria Hayward, who's the captain for the 2nd time, chose nobody from her last time when she got to draft people. So it's just little things like that. You learn who you want, who you do not want.
Off-speed pitch, softly hit right side. Clifton. And our first out is recorded. Now there's also, Jessi Warren hits this one deep to center field. This one's gone. Wow, what a shocker that was. Jessi Warren swings at the first pitch and drives it to center field for a 1-0 lead for Team Warren. That's what captains do. Wow, what a start for Jessi Warren and her team.
She's so good. She really is. She is just first pitch swinging, backdoor curve on the outside part of the plate, drifted up in the zone a little bit. She takes this baby dead center. And that's been the trend with Warren. She's a first pitch swinger. And as a pitcher, you got to know that.
Piancastelli drives this one deep to center field. Will it stay in the ballpark? This one is gone. Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back homers for Team Warren. What a start. Erika Piancastelli's 5th homer of the season.
And it must be the Power Ranger flow. They're going with the Purple Ranger. That was their motto this week, Jessi Warren said. And I mean, this just a pitch that missed over the plate, and clearly they're passing the bat, especially in regards to swinging at first pitch strikes. And for a second, Eric, I thought this had some hang time, was going to just go warning track, but it just goes over the wall.
Vidalis takes ball 1. Homer by Piancastelli, following the homer by Jessi Warren. So 8 pitches into the game, and it's a 2-0 lead for Team Warren.
And that's what I'm saying. This league at times can be so humbling for those pitchers, right? Because you can feel great coming in from the pen, feeling like you're good, and you leave 1 or 2 pitches up, and they just take you yard right away. Really gives you that gut check feeling.
Vidalis, a .310 batter. 820 points through the first 3 weeks. That is 20th out of the 57 players here in Rosemont. Quality strike 2 and 2. Tried to get her to chase, and the count goes full.
That's some heavy power in a row with Warren, Piancastelli, and Vidalis. Vidalis plays with the Mexican national team. They're pure pop home run hitter.
Three balls and 2 strikes to Vidalis. 9 hits and 29 at bats, including that 1 homer. Called strike 3. O'Toole gets the benefit of the doubt. Second out of our first inning. Next in line is Morgan Howe. She's wearing a microphone. Let's go all access. Presented by Sparta Science.
It's low-key kind of hot outside, but I can't not play with sleeves. Can't not play without sleeves. Right? Can't not play without sleeves. Yes. I cannot play without sleeves. Okay, I don't know what I want to do. I'm running in. Yeah! Yeah!
Just getting some English lessons from Jessi Warren. Little Power Ranger flavor.
You're into this Power Ranger thing that they've got going on.
Oh my goodness, the Power Rangers back in the day. Pink Ranger is my spirit animal.
Hard but foul right side. Ball and 2 strikes to Morgan Howe. Howe's had success. .387 batting average, couple of homers, 8 runs batted in. She is 22nd out of the 57 players in total points. O'Toole strikes her out. Good job by O'Toole to strike out. Good offensive start for Team Warren. Now Team Reed going to head to the bat rack. Let's take a look at their lineup, brought to you by Geico. After not being here in Rosemont a week ago. Ocasio's first pitch, ball 1 to Flippin.
And I, can't express enough how happy it makes me, but I know all of these young ladies being able to have her back because she made such an impact.
Staggering to think that in only 2 weeks of work, she is still 9th in all of Athletes Unlimited in points. She would have been one of the captains a week ago. She had to give up her captaincy and handed it over to Erika Piancastelli when she had to leave.
When it was funny just connecting with her a little bit when she was gone, she said she would play wall ball with herself. She also found this oversized Kong ball that she would throw to kind of just help her stay in the mentality of training, even with the unknown of if she was going to come back or not. But you just love that. Someone that's continuing to put in work, even though they're dealing with family stuff, just shows how dedicated she is to this league and how much she loves it.
Curious, I don't know what a Kong ball is.
Oh, those Kong balls where you can stick like the peanut butter in.
Oh, the dog things.
Yes,
sure,
she went to PetSmart and bought one of those and trained with that.
Interesting.
Hey.
Is that a thing? Clearly it is.
Not for me, but there's a lot of different ways pitchers find ways to train and what uniquely helps them. And hey, maybe I'll take that up in my training.
Kylan Becker bats with 1 out. Former Ole Miss star Kylan Becker, 7 hits and 25 at bats here with Athletes Unlimited. Off speed misses inside. 2-1. Ocasio, what she does is fills up that strike zone. No one here with Athletes Unlimited has a higher strike percentage than she does. 71% of her pitches are called strikes. Fouled third base side. While we have a moment to take a look at the defense behind Ocasio. Ocasio is working with Erika Piancastelli as her receiver. Infield of Warren, who is sensational at third. Penley next to her, Jenkins and Vidalis right side. Zirkle, Howe, and Andrews left to right in the outfield. 3-2.
Well, what makes Ocasio so good, in my opinion, is just she's able to change speed so much. You're never gonna get the same speed pitch after pitch, and that's why she is dominated from the get-go in this league.
A rare walk by Ocasio, and 1 out. Good speed aboard. Next in line is the captain, Janie Reed. Let's take a look at the Carvana draft recap.
I'm really excited about the group that we have. Well-rounded, both sides of the ball. We have speed, we have power, and I'm just really excited for this group.
Second consecutive week that she's been a captain. Janie Reed last week, her team won 1 and lost a pair. Game that they won, they really flexed muscle going for an 18-run ball game. Look at Ocasio. That is a gutsy play, trying to get the lead runner out, and she does. 2 outs. Many people believe that Ocasio is currently the best fielding pitcher in the world today.
I'd have to agree with you, and just the fact that she's a two-way player as well, can also hit, but she's just able to just come up on the money. Shelby Penley, and just heads up defense. I think that's so important. Obviously, we know in this league the importance of winning innings. Team Warren scored in the first, and if Team Reed is not able to score in the bottom of the first inning, they will get 10 points awarded to each player on Team Warren. So it's truly understanding how much these innings mean, because it's points that can just continue to carry you up the leaderboard.
Amanda Chittister. Fooled, ball gets away from the catcher, and that will allow Reed to go into scoring position. And I think maybe some miscommunication as Ocasio and Piancastelli want to have a word.
There definitely, I think, was some miscommunication with Piancastelli, but I'm wondering what Chitty's swinging at. I mean, this is just way out of the zone, off-speed pitch. And that's one thing I think we've seen week to week is Amanda Chittister taking big hacks, and we've just yet to see her go yard, which to me is surprising. She's, you know, known as being one of the best hitters in the world, made Team USA.
Ball and 2 strikes. And Ocasio loses her. Drills her And the inning continues. Runners on at first and at second now for the other Amanda. Chittister's on at first. Amanda Sanchez is the new batter. So this hasn't been the standard issue control from Aleshia Ocasio. She's walked a batter and hit a batter.
When you can't forget last weekend, Amanda Sanchez had a 2-home run game. She's feeling good. She's really coming into her own. And, you know, Ocasio, I'm assuming, watched a lot of these games last weekend when she had the opportunity. So she knows what Sanchez can do.
2-0. Good hitters count for Sanchez. .750 points for Sanchez, 23rd out of the 57 players. On the ground, should end the inning. Scooped, fired, Jenkins, side, retired.
Just, you know, stretching out the muscles. But it couldn't be more true how much they all truly enjoy being around each other. Yesterday, after I went in and ended up getting my COVID test and passing, thank goodness, but just kind of sitting down with the players, that's something that, after talking with Vic, she's like, I know that we're all kind of sad that this is going to be ending in a week and a half and we're going to have to go our own way. We wish we could be together more. Some people want to just live together now. And I'm like, throughout this whole pandemic and stuff, this part is really cool that they can be together, hang out together, learn and experience this inaugural league as a group. I think it's pretty special.
And one of the really neat things I found is in sports you're so used to having one team against the other and your mortal enemies when you play the game. Nadia Taylor takes outside. But because of this format where the league changes teams every single week, and one week you could be against someone, next week they could be on your team and you're relying on them, it just, there's a different dynamic. You know, you share a common bond even when you're not on the other team, and I don't think that that's a negative. And frequently you had, went too far. Nadia Taylor strikes out number 1 here in the second inning. We're just so inbred with having the idea that two teams against each other and you have to dislike each other to have a good game, but I think we're seeing that that doesn't have to be the case.
No, and when you cross the lines, the art of competing is such a beautiful thing, and that's why these women love this game. It's why they've given up a lot in their lives to compete at the highest level, because they do. So, you know, you exit the field and you're one thing, but when you set foot on the diamond with your team that's ready to compete and you step over those lines, it is game on all the way, and you know that they feel that. But off the field, they're all buddies, hanging out, having a good time, and that was something when I was always growing up I had a tough time with, being able to be friends with people that I was playing against that would make me look bad and how to deal with those emotions. But the older you get, you learn to deal with it and hang out, have fun. But when you compete, and you can always be better.
How about Danielle O'Toole? Gave up back-to-back homers in the first inning, has since struck out 3 in a row. Shelby Penley takes down low. Shelby Penley starting to creep up that leaderboard, currently 38th out of 57 players. She was buried the first couple of weeks. Finally got on a team that won some games a week ago, and that always helps. That's the biggest thing that we found in helping players move up the leaderboard, is winning games and winning innings. 3 balls and 2 strikes. O'Toole. Now this is Monday night. Shelby Penley. Sharply on the ground, flipping. One shortstop throws out the other, 2 down.
Because we have literally had a home run in every single game. And I think that that, to me, is incredible. Last weekend, 23 home runs over 6 games. Pitchers, come on. that would just get me if I was a pitcher.
Sounds like a former pitcher talking. Current pitcher talking.
Current pitcher.
Kelsey Jenkins is the batter, takes called strike 1. Yeah, week 1, 12 homers, 15, a little bit of an improvement week 2. And then all of a sudden, a bonanza, the explosion in week 3. Softly hit, backhanded by Chittister, wins the race to the bag, side retired. Called strike one as we begin our second inning. Kaylee Clifton, Sam Fisher, Aubrey Monroe will bat. Clifton a couple of homers, and one of them was really important. One of the bigger moments that we've seen here through the first 3 weeks of Athletes Unlimited softball. Currently 700 points, right on the nose, 29th out of 57 players with Athletes Unlimited. Batting average just a whisker below 300. Aleshia Ocasio, second inning of work. Softly off the end of the bat, caught by Warren. Out number one. So Ocasio has not allowed a base hit. She's allowed a couple of base runners. She walked Becker and she hit Chittister. How big of a deal is taking 1 week off for a pitcher?
Well, I mean, she was putting in work, so I think that definitely helps, knowing that when you're leaving, you're going to be getting in those reps, because I think that helps the mental game for sure. But it can be a little bit challenging because you feel maybe like you're falling behind a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, a week is really not that big of a deal. She was back in here. She was able to practice before this weekend, so it's not like she just flew in today and was inserted into the pitch, the circle. So she put in that work, but I mean, when you see swings like that at 58 miles an hour, you're just like, she is so effective in the sense where she can go down in the zone with that off-speed drop, but then also bring it up in your eyes at 65, 66 miles an hour with the rise.
Fisher hits it softly left field, and there are 2 outs. It's interesting to note that Alicia Ocasio played at Florida, All-American there. I was on the same staff with Kelly Barnhill. They both were All-Americans. But when you break it down, Barnhill was probably the bigger deal at Florida with what she did in the circle. And now in the pro game, Ocasio has been the better of the two so far.
But you know what the difference is she changes speeds. And I say this to a lot of young women that are aspiring pitchers, like, if you cannot change speeds, your success in this game is going to be limited at times, because hitters are too good where they're going to catch up to the heat. So if you can't take something off it to continue to, you know, pursue your passions professionally, can be a challenge. And you know, I hate to say this, but I think that was a huge part as to why it was tough for Barnhill to win a national championship, because she didn't throw that off speed, and she just threw hard and was super dominant the first 2 years of her career at Florida, but then everyone figured her out, and then she wasn't able to throw an off-speed pitch and found herself giving up a ton more home runs and struggling a little bit.
This is Aubrey Monroe, another former Florida Gator, sensing a theme. Ocasio throws a strike, 3-1. Monroe currently on Team USA, be an Olympian next summer. 5 years she's been with the national team, since 2016. She's always earned her keep with what she can do defensively, but she has been just fine offensively here with Athletes Unlimited. 4 hits and 14 at bats with a homer and 5 runs batted in. Off speed, and Monroe a great job of laying off of it. Ocasio thought she had her, but Monroe wins that battle. Third base runner against Ocasio. 2 out, runner aboard, and it's Jasmine Jackson. Jackson comes out aggressive. Her very first weekend, first 3 games with Athletes Unlimited, she was one of the stars. Went 5 for 10 with a grand slam. And she's struggled to try and get back to that form since. In 18 at-bats over the last 2 weekends, just 1 for 18. Batting average hovering at .214. 8 runs batted in for Jackson, and now she's in a hole. 0-2. High pop up behind home plate and out of play. Jackson, a business degree from Cal. Not bad. Softly, change up, swung on and missed. Jackson is retired.
Time we faced her, we went all backdoor and changed. Yeah. I think we can go in. Yeah. I think it's got to be tight, yeah. Or practically either like tight. I'm afraid to give her like right at the kneecap. Yeah. No, I know. Because she's got that. Her swing. So I'm either shoving it in the ground or I'm like doing it so tight that if she's not even willing to swing at it, she has to move out of the way. Where do you want this? If you do end up calling this pitch, I don't want to give her that. Stelly, I don't want to give her that pitch right there. Like that's.
She got roughed up by Jessi Warren and Piancastelli. You heard her talking shop with Monroe behind the dish on just how she wants to approach them. You heard her say Piancastelli's name, and you love that conversation because every single week the battery is at times potentially changing. And I think the communication has to be so spot on to feel comfortable in the circle if you have someone constantly changing behind the plate. And the battery is the #1 thing that you need to be locked in right from the get-go.
Alicia Ocasio leads things off. Pitcher hitting for herself. Why not? 4 hits and 10 at-bats for Ocasio. You see the points. She's got over 1,000 now. These are being updated as the game goes along. Into center field. Lazy fly ball. Becker makes the play. That is out #1. Fans want to get even closer to the game. Become a member of the Unlimited Club to cast votes for player MVPs, get access to our members-only dugout camera, and interact with top point leaders after the draft each week in members-only meet and greet sessions. Learn more about the Unlimited Club by visiting auprosports.com and clicking Unlimited Club in the upper right of the page. Back to the top of the order, Morgan Zirkle. She bounced out to second to begin the game. Unscientific, but I think that Zirkle gets down the first base line in fewer steps than anyone here with Athletes Unlimited this year. She's got these long strides, similar to Emily Allard. If anyone remembers Emily Allard, who was a terrific player back when she played at Northwestern and also played National Pro Fast Pitch. Allard had it timed beautifully and would always land it fully extended on her 6th step down the line. Maybe a 7. 2 balls and a strike. O'Toole to Zirkle.
And I've really just loved watching her in that leadoff spot. You see where she's at in the point system and win points as well as stat points. But I remember her a couple weekends ago having that leadoff hit off of Kat in the bottom of the 7th inning. That was huge, where they were almost trying to kind of spark that rally. But I just remember her swinging that hot bat against Kat, just going in there first pitch, took her to the wall. That was a big moment for her, you know. Coming in, there's a lot of these players that you really know based on national teams and stuff like that. But with her, you didn't really know much, right? She played at Marshall. There's still a little bit of unknown with that.
Zirkle has played independent ball. Was actually going to play on this field this summer in National Pro Fast Pitch with the Chicago Bandits, but that league wasn't able to play this summer because of COVID restrictions. 3-2 off speed, spoils it. And Zirkle not only played at Marshall, which is in Huntington, West Virginia, but she's from just down the road, Milton, West Virginia. There's been good players out of Marshall over the years. The Williams twins Foul again.
You have so much wisdom with the MPF. I love it. You just bring so much flavor of the old school players that I even played against, and you can name drop first and last name.
3-2. Zirkle high in the air. It's a home run in a phone booth. Foul territory. Chittister makes the play. 2 down.
I think the only thing that I've disagreed with you on is when you said my buddy wasn't the best shortstop in the game, Tammy Williams. I know Jen's tuning in, so she likes that I have her back, but it is purely because I think she was the best shortstop in the game in the college game back in the day, and obviously she's still playing shortstop. But
no, Jen Salling, world class. Not denying that. Love me some Jen Salling.
But Tammy Williams was ferocious. You didn't want to mess with Tammy when she was with the Bandits.
No.
Yeah, we kind of clashed a little bit, but that's just healthy competition.
I can see it. Here's Jessie Warren. I don't see anyone clashing with Jessie Warren. She's always got a smile on her face. She is always lighting up her room. And she lit up the scoreboard back in the first inning. A solo home run. And that's moving her up the charts. Points list. You get 40 points for a homer. For winning an inning, you get 10. So she's already got 50 points today.
And that's moved her to the #2 spot in Athletes Unlimited. And I still stand behind how I feel in the sense how she has not got a sniff with Team USA. I by far think she's one of the best third basemen truly in the game. Just a true defender, spot on. But it's her ability to hit. She steps up, great plate coverage, solid eye. She's truly been on my radar for quite some time.
2-2. On the ground, routine. Sanchez, one third baseman, throws out the other. And it is 2-0. Team Warren over Team Reed. Take a look at the Geico leaderboard, and we have a change. Jessie Warren, who began the day in the 4th spot, has leapfrogged Janie Reed and Victoria Hayward, and she is now #2 behind Kat Osterman in total points among the 57 players here. Pretty cool. Here's Hannah Flippin. It'll be Flippin, Becker, and Reed against Ocasio. Flippin's red hot. She homered in every game last weekend. Homers in 3 straight. Currently tied for the homer lead in the league with, well, Piancastelli, I guess, got one earlier today. She's got 5. So she began the day tied with Piancastelli, Wiggins, and Jaquish.
Yeah, she's really come into her own. An alternate for Team USA, but someone that I think could definitely make that team because she is so talented and she's just really rose to the occasion. So you're tied for second with home runs and leads and ribbies as well as runs.
She's the type of player that you really get an appreciation for the more you see of her because of the instincts. The small things that she's able to do defensively, the things that she's thinking about when she's on the base paths, the way that she can adjust even within an at bat with where she is in the batter's box. Really kind of a cool thing. Jessie Warren throws a strike over to first, and that's the first out of our 3rd inning. All right, we're going to have Morgan Howe join us here. Morgan, how you doing?
I'm doing grand, thank you.
Grand, that's better than great.
Yeah,
How are y'all? How are y'all?
We've seen you as a DP a little bit. We've seen you in right field. I don't think we've seen you in center field this year. Is that right?
Yeah, nobody has. This is new to everyone. See you, Lily, that looked good. Yeah, this is a little new to everybody.
Did you play center field at all in college?
I did.
Okay.
So when I was at Arizona State, that's where I played my junior and senior year. So nobody knew.
Nothing new for you.
Love it. This angle is so nice. Yes, Lily. This angle, I mean, it doesn't get better than this.
What's the wind situation like out there in center field?
Little brisky out here today. No, there's little to no. I don't think it's drastic enough to really make a difference. Yes, make a play. Oh yeah, we love it. 2. Nice job, KJ. Good, Lily. Yeah.
Morgan,
yes.
What are you seeing out there in center field? What's Ocasio doing?
Greatness, great things. I think she's doing a good job of mixing up and down. And side, I mean, on both sides of the plate. She's mixing up and down. Hitting spots. Everywhere that Erika's setting up, she's hitting well, so you can't really ask for much more than that. I think this is as great as it gets.
Morgan, you guys have about a week and a half left of Athletes Unlimited. Talk to me about your experience here.
I actually, yes, Lily. I was actually reflecting on this last night. I just kind of had like this wave of emotions. It's been great. I mean, this is all new to me. This is my, rookie introduction, and everyone's been nothing short of amazing, kind. You hear about a lot of these names. You play a lot. We play against them. You watch them on TV. A lot of these girls I didn't really get to play with or against just because I'm so young. I look good. And so for them to be normal human beings upon meeting them, even though I'm seeing them as like these superstars, it's just, it's humbling. And then what's also great to, I guess, feel is that I'm here with them, like hanging with them, playing with them, like I'm ball. All right, let's get it.
Well, and you should be hanging with them.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
Got you later.
Tool. She gave up back-to-back homers in the first inning, but since then has been marvelous. She's retired 8 in a row. Erika Piancastelli hit that second home run. It was Warren and then Piancastelli with 1 out in the first inning. After Piancastelli, Tori Vidalis and Morgan Howe to bat. High pop-up. It's going to be playable. The pitcher O'Toole calls for it, and finally caught by Monroe. That was actually a way more difficult catch for Monroe than it would have been for O'Toole, but there's always been this rule that pitchers can't field a pop-up. What's up with that, Danielle?
I just think it's, not that I agree with the rule, but I think it's a comfort level. If you feel like you should be able to get it, then you can get it. But catchers, they do that drill where the coach hits the ball up to them at the end of like the defense. They're used to those things. I say, give Monroe the ball all day.
First ball swinging, Tori Vidalis. Hannah flipping. Airtight. Quickly 2 down. That's 10 in a row. Retired by O'Toole.
Well, and there's a lot on the line, right? We talked at the beginning of the game against those rollover points and points per inning, and Jessi Warren's team was able to win the first inning, and now we have 30 points on the line. We have zeros in the second as well as the third, and going into this fourth inning, the first team that's able to score and have the most runs, 30 points will be awarded to every single athlete on that team.
Morgan Howe. 2 outs, bases clear. High pop. It's going to be playable. Janie Reed shades her eyes, makes the play. Next summer with Team Mexico. 1 out here in the fourth inning as Amanda Chittister. That's the closest she's come to hitting a home run here at Athletes Unlimited. Flies out to the warning track.
I thought for a second too that was out of here, but Zirkle was able to track that baby down right at the warning track while shielding the sun.
So here is Amanda Sanchez, one of 6 different players here with Athletes Unlimited that will be on the Mexican Olympic team next summer. And I say that Sanchez has been maybe the most impressive of the position players. She's been fantastic at third. She has been the equal of Jessi Warren defensively at third. And the power is starting to come. She had a 2-homer game last weekend. That's the 4th time she's been hit with a pitch. 4 different times she's been hit with a pitch so far through the first 10 games that she's played with Athletes Unlimited.
And you see her Mexican national team teammate Vidal's just giving her a tough time. Get out of the way of that.
Inning points on the line. If Team Reed can push a run across here in this 4th inning, everyone on their roster will get 30 points. Kaylee Clifton called strike 1. Team Reed does not have a base hit, folks. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. They've had their share of base runners. 2 walks and 2 players have been hit with a pitch, but no base hits. Ocasio, the 0-1. Foul, 0-2. All right, Danielle, obviously it's early. It's only the 4th inning, but it's a 7-inning game. When you were pitching, I'm sorry, when you pitch games, obviously you're still active, but when you were working on a no-hitter or a game when there was low hits, about what time did you realize that you had a no-hitter going?
Maybe about the 5th, 6th inning.
Okay.
We start to kind of notice it.
Okay.
The first 3 or 4 innings, looks like they're searching for something out there. You see Lauren Lappin, who was one of the facilitators, and it was a broken bat. And what the facilitators are just people that kind of help mediate and help. The captains are the ones that make those big time decisions, game decisions. And there's Lauren Lappin, played at Stanford, silver medalist in the 2008 Olympics with Team USA.
On the ground, could be 2. Penley to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Took a little bit of time on that transfer. There's now 2 outs. And Clifton replaces Sanchez on at first.
But yeah, just going back to those facilitators, and when you as a pitcher are that captain, so I think about Kat Osterman in that role, she said kind of at the beginning, she would almost pass on those duties to the facilitators to help her so she could just truly get in her element in the circle, not have to worry about all this outside noise, just focus on her job. But there's definitely a lot more pressure on the captains, because not only do they have to worry about personal performance, but they also have to figure out when to make those pitching changes, defensive changes. And if I've seen anything that would need to be better, it would be with the captains making the decisions to pull pitchers a little bit sooner than they have.
Sam Fisher lifts it foul and out of play. Folks, if you don't know the story, the legend of Lauren Lappin, I'll give it to you in a thumbnail version. Lauren Lappin was a right-handed hitting shortstop at Stanford. Everyone's All-American, wonderful player. Wanted to play for Team USA, wanted to be an Olympian. The coaching staff said, you know what? Right-handed hitter, shortstop, we've got that. Can you catch? She said, no, but I'll try. They said, can you bat left-handed? She goes, no, but I'll try. They said, can you slap? She's like, no, but I'll try. So she spent a year learning how to catch. She spent a year learning how to bat left-handed and slap and use her speed, and did it so well that she made the Olympic team. So Lauren Lappin, who had wonderful skill and was a perfect player in her own right, made herself a different player because that's what her coaches wanted, and turned herself into an Olympian.
And I mean, how selfless is that? Most women would not want to do that. Most would be like, well, I'm great at what I do, and that's all that. That should speak for itself. But she found a way to completely reinvent her game and herself. And she was a huge piece to their puzzle because she could play so many different positions. It's not like she was just a shortstop. She could catch, she could play outfield, and the versatility is big.
Called strike 3. Alicia Ocasio, how do you do? Back-to-back solo home runs by Jessi Warren and Erika Piancastelli in the first inning for Team Warren. And that is held up. It is a 2-0 game as we play the 5th.
And you're in the circle. How that kind of works is for every single out you record in the circle, you're going to get +4 points. But it's when you give up those earned runs where you can really see yourself moving down pretty quick. It's -10 for every single earned run that is given up. And that's what I like. It's not that you get extra points for a strikeout or something like that. It's just across the board. +4. You roll one over to Chitty at first. That's +4 in your bank account.
Nadia Taylor on the ground, backhanded by Flippin, throws on the move and makes the play. That ball had some English on it, and I think she wanted to get a normal hop, but she had to use the backhand because of a late funky bounce it took.
Well, and it has been taking these little funky bounces because of that turf, right? They've put that wood chip type turf in there, which runs actually a little bit slower after talking with a lot of the athletes, but spot on defense. I mean, this is a play Hannah Flippin makes in her sleep.
Crisp defense so far today from both sides. This is the 4th week out of what will be a 5-week season. Shelby Penley bounced out to short first time up. "60 pitches into this game. Danielle O'Toole, the only blemish. Homers in the first inning to Warren and Piancastelli. Painting. Ball and 2 strikes.
And I love these tight, close games. Gets me all fired up here in the booth because I feel like we've just seen so many big time games. Last weekend we had one that was 18-2. I'll take a 2-0 game heading into the 5th any day.
Veteran hitter Penley knew that ball would dip at the last moment. It did, and so the count's full, 3-2. Penley stays alive.
That's a great pitch by O'Toole. 66-mile-an-hour drop ball on the outside part of the plate. Her curve and her drop sometimes kind of blend together and look pretty similar, but that had a little bit of downward bite.
Here's another payoff. Got her. 13 in a row retired by O'Toole. That's her 4th strikeout.
Such a pretty pitch. You see Shelby Penley just pull off that curveball a little bit early. You see O'Toole, just the way she comes across her body.
Here's Kelsey Jenkins. Part of the Canadian national team. Just finished up her eligibility at the University of Wisconsin up in Madison. Little chopper. It's going to be a tough play, Sanchez. Did she do it? Yes, she did. Another 1-2-3 inning for O'Toole. Somewhere Debbie Doom is smiling. Look at this pitcher comparison. This is some old school softball.
Hey, and I love it. I mean, Ocasio has come to play, hasn't skipped a beat. And Danielle O'Toole just had that small hiccup in the first inning, but has really, really settled in. Both of them finding their grooves. And I love that. And you would assume by week 4 that they'd really start to kind of settle in a little bit. It was straight out of the gate in this league where the pitchers struggled and hitters really came out firing on all cylinders. And my hope for the pitchers was that they were going to catch up and just find a way to have better connection with the catcher, whoever that may be behind the dish, but also just accountability and better pitch location. There was a lot of misses over the plate and the pitchers were getting hurt.
Softly on the ground, Jessi Warren throws out Aubrey Monroe. Fans, head to auprosports.com to get your Athletes Unlimited gear and check out our Fan Zone to download your watch kit and participate in Pick'em games. And don't forget to follow us on social at AU Pro Sports for exclusive inside content. Jasmine Jackson pulls it with her down the right side and runs into an out. Quickly 2 down here in the 5th inning. All right, so Ocasio has gone through the lineup twice. She's faced 18 batters, has not allowed a base hit.
Well, and I wouldn't really change up my game plan much if I was her. I would continue to just keep really mixing speeds. She's staying down in the zone consistently.
Hannah Flippin, first ball swinging. Hit it to the wrong person. Jessi Warren sucks it up, throws her out.
I really like Ocasio. She's been one of my favorites. Has that calm, cool, and collected type personality, two-way player, which you just don't see as much as you used to in this game. Those hitting pitchers, I think, truly are so special because it just shows how athletic they are. And we need more of them. If the young women are watching, be that two-way player. Allow yourself to continue to hit and have fun with that, because I think it allows for you to just lighten the mood a little bit when you're in the circle, because there's so much pressure that you deal with. It's nice to be able to step in the batter's box knowing that you can have your own back.
I think one of the things I've noticed about Ocasio, it's clear to see that she is supremely gifted athletically. But the small things that you notice that she does that goes towards winning and understanding the game. She is a fierce competitor, and it was clear from the opening weekend that she understood the rules of how this game was going to be played better than most. Ground ball to short, flip and throws her out. I think that she understands that this inning right here is super important. She wants to win the game, but I think Aleshia Ocasio understands this inning is worth 40 points, and points are what we're talking about here. That's how we differentiate every player.
Well, and now going into the sixth, it's worth 50 points. So it's more than you would even get for a home run because of all those rollover innings. I mean, they scored in the first, and there's been donuts up there heading into the sixth. So, I mean, being awarded 50 points would be more than you would make even getting a home run. It would be the same as what you get if your team is able to win. If you win the game, you're awarded 50 points, every single player on your team. So, I mean, this to me means more than anything is being able to get these points, because it really can scoot you up there on that leaderboard.
It's been over an hour of real time since we've seen a base hit. Morgan Zirkle comes up empty. Ball and 2 strikes to Zirkle. The only 2 hits that we've had today came back in the top of the first inning, and they came back-to-back consecutive pitches. A homer by Jessi Warren and a homer by Erika Piancastelli. Those are the only 2 hits allowed by O'Toole. Ocasio, in her time in the circle, has allowed no hits through 5 innings. Right side, played beautifully by Clifton. 2 down. I mentioned that home run back in the first inning. Second homer for Warren. First pitch misses high. Ball 1.
When I like O'Toole going first pitch way up out of the zone, knowing Jessi Warren tends to swing at the first pitch. And you got to be smart, right? I mean, if I give up a home run to you more than one time in a game, that's where I really need to gut check myself and figure out, okay, I'd rather throw her 2 balls inside, and if she hits a home run off that, I'm going to tip my cap. But it's when you leave the meatballs, when you leave it over the white of the plate, and when you fall behind, right? If you fall behind 3-0, I mean, we understand Piancastelli's on deck, but you cannot give Jessi Warren anything too good at this hitter's count, knowing that there's 50 points on the line.
O'Toole's retired 16 in a row. There's a good strike, 3-1. Two down, top of the 6th inning. That is a fair ball. Bobbled by Sanchez. Her throw is... Well, the throw was there, but I guess it pulled the first baseman, Chittister, off the bag. So there would be an infield single or an error. We shall see. That was an odd play. The ball started in foul territory and then moved into fair territory right on top of the bag, and I think that threw Sanchez a bit.
Yeah, and you just see her foot kind of slip off that base. And I see a toe getting in there first before the ball was fully in the mitt.
Now that's a tough error for Amanda Sanchez. She bobbled it at the onset, and it cost her.
And I almost thought for a second it was going to hit the base at third, which is definitely hard to read as a defender, right? Because if it hits the base, it's going to scoot and move in some different ways. But I think she was trying to see if that was going to happen.
Piancastelli up high, 2-0. Yeah, when that ball left Warren's bat, it was funky. It actually took its first hop in foul territory, and then it came back into fair territory and hugged the line and went right over the bag at third. A lot to think about for Sanchez. Second consecutive batter that O'Toole has started with 3 straight balls. Four-pitch walk to Piancastelli. So 16 in a row retired by O'Toole, and now back-to-back batters have reached this player conference presented by Mariner Wealth Advisor. As a brief little confab in the center of the diamond, and now we're doing it again. Runners first and at second, 2 outs. Torrey Vidalis, notorious first ball swinger.
And I think this could be a little bit of a situation for O'Toole in the sense of like picking your poison. You fall behind Jessi Warren. Okay, I don't want to give her anything too sweet. She ends up getting on first, but then with Piancastelli, she fell behind right away. So for her to give her anything too good, I think you would look at the way that you've pitched Vidalis with the strikeout looking her first AB and then the 6-3 and really choose to attack her. I know a home run here would make it a 3 spot on the board, which is a lot, but it truly comes with the comfort you feel in your gut. Do you feel a better approach against Vidalis? That's how you need to go.
Ball and 2 strikes tied her up inside. Vidalis struck out back in the first inning. One of 4 strikeouts for O'Toole. 50 points on the line for whoever wins this inning. Wonderful block. Monroe is so soft behind the plate.
Such a defensive specialist, and you really think, like when I think of Team USA, I mean, I've always been so fortunate to play against a player like Stacey Newman behind the dish. And then you look at Monroe, who's, you know, almost a skeleton of Newman. She's super tiny behind the plate, but a cannon of an arm. But man, watching Stacey Newman play and what she brought to the table, intimidation factor all the way. She was so good.
Look at that for Monroe. She made 4 errors in 4 years. Looks like a misprint. 2-2. All right, 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. This changes the dynamic. Warren will be off from second. Piancastelli will be off from first. On the ground, Sanchez steps on the backside, retired. Ocasio wasn't in this shielded environment a week ago, had to leave for personal reasons. She is back now, and she has not missed a beat. Sensational performance. Oh, the bobble, and that's going to be a base runner leading things off. I'm assuming that'll be an error. It is. Quickly ruled an error. And that is trouble. Becker is aboard with great speed. Nobody out here in the 6th inning.
Well, and Becker, just a lot of speed. And I think sometimes that little added pressure can give you that quick little hiccup, and ball spun up on her. Still makes a cannon of a throw, but that little blip allows for Becker to be on first.
Reed, number, and it rolls foul. Well, interesting to point out, obviously winning the game and winning innings are super important. That's what everyone's thinking about. But Ocasio is trying to get as many points as possible. She lost out on points by not being able to play last weekend. Because of the error that she committed, the base runner on at first is basically a free runner for her. It will be unearned if she eventually comes around to score. So it will not be a -10 against Ocasio should she score. 0-2 to the captain, Janie Reed. A bounce out and a fly out. Great opportunity for Team Reed to do some small ball and win an inning.
Just so much movement Ocasio has on her ball. That last pitch, 55 miles an hour, 0-2 down in the zone. And besides her, the only other pitcher that has been true with not missing over the plate much has been Kat. We saw Wagner last weekend, threw great.
Lifted in the air, center field, ambling back on it, and making the play is Howe. First time we've seen Morgan Howe in center field, and she's acquitted herself well. That's the first out of the 6th inning.
In that CBS Sports game Monday night last weekend, we were done in like an hour 35. I mean, we've just been fortunate, you and me, back to back. We got back-to-back nail biters.
I love it.
And I love that. You look at both Ocasio and Osterman.
Amazing.
Yep.
Here's Chittister. Thought she had a homer last time up. Smoked into center field. There is the first base hit allowed by Ocasio. It comes with 1 out in the 6th inning. The no-hitter has gone. Can't hit it any harder. Solid, no doubt about it, single to center field for Chittister.
That's a good piece of hitting on the outside part of the plate. It's about a ball and a half off. She just stays with that drop ball, gets it before it fully drops down. They have a meeting in the circle. Alicia Ocasio had called time. You see her talking in her mitt and just talking with Warren and the rest of the infield. We got runners on first and second with 1 out. Got a double play opportunity, any bag.
Lefty and a righty getting loose in the pen just in case. 72nd pitch from Ocasio. Swung on and missed by Sanchez. Ocasio's only struck out a pair. Struck out Sam Fisher and Jasmine Jackson. Everyone else has put the ball in play. Misses inside. Now, normally, when you think about softball, a 2-0 game, you're pitching to your lead, and you've got a 2-run lead. You can afford to give up a run. But now you're pitching for inning points, which are 50 of them on this situation. Could be 2 to second for 1. Penley's throw in time. Double play. 4-6-3 on the twin kill. And Ocasio continues to be magnificent. What a game. Through 6, it is a 2-0 lead for Team Warren over Team Reed. Alicia Ocasio just got some help behind her. Let's take a look at our Geico defensive play of the game.
Man, I mean, to me, this is just as clutch can be. Jenkins with the quick toss to Shelby Penley with the sidearm. Vidala's doing her best to get that extension, but you just see Ocasio fired up because it means so much, those rollover points. I mean, now we're going in, this is worth 60 points, which is more than what a win would be and more than what a home run would be. So 60 points to everyone on your team really scoots you up there.
Morgan Howe leads things off. It'll be Howe followed by Nadia Taylor and then Shelby Penley. We've reached the 7th inning. Team Warren scored both of their runs in the 1st inning. They have not had a base hit since. Danielle O'Toole. 1-1. You feel for Danielle O'Toole. She has got so much on her pitches. She has been a thinker. She is a marvelous player, but at times has had some bad luck here with Athletes Unlimited. And then to have the 1st inning that she had and giving up back-to-back home runs, and she must have been saying, it's happening again. But then to be able to switch gears and turn everything around, and at one point retire 16 in a row, you got to marvel at what she's done.
I could not agree with you more. I just think she's done such a good job of hitting good spots. I mean, we've seen her fall behind on a couple different things, but when those hitters were able to get on in Warren and Piancastelli, she really buckled down with Vidales and was able to get out of that inning. So it just shows she's been able to spot up her pitches really well.
Off of Howe's foot.
And this is an off-speed pitch that came in at like 40 miles an hour, and that hurts so bad. I don't think people truly understand what hitting a ball into your shin feels like until you do it. But it's more so the treatment that takes place after it with a trainer, and they're grinding it out with these metal tools so it doesn't, so the bone doesn't like, there's something to do with how it swells, and you need to get all of that swelling out or it'll stay swollen forever pretty much. So it's no bueno. I would be wearing shin guards all the way.
Little half swing results in a base hit. How about that? Morgan Howe. Little excuse me base hit for Morgan Howe.
It never feels good when you drill yourself in the shin, but then she's able to just stay on playing with this. Doesn't even have to finish her swing. I mean, that's kind of what you do in pepper. We used to play that at UW, and Coach Tar would make us do it before the games, where you're just kind of peppering the ball down. That was up, but same type of look.
Nadia Taylor fouls it right side. That base hit by Morgan Howe is the first base hit since the first inning for Team Warren. First single. Only other hits were homers. Taylor 0 for 2. Smoked. Wow. That'll be a double play. Hannah flipping the catch and the throw to first, and a quick double play. So both sides have turned double plays in the last inning's worth of play here in Rosemont.
Well, I mean, defense has really come to play in week 4. Flipping just a cannon. Nadia Taylor could not have hit this harder. Curveball in the inside part of the plate, and bang, bang.
So the base is cleared. 2 outs. Shelby Penley. High pop-up. Will it be playable? And it is, and it's out number 3. Amanda Chittister, look what I found. Come down to this. The bottom of the 7th inning, a 2-0 lead for Team Warren. Kaylee Clifton, Sam Fisher, Aubrey Monroe scheduled to bat against the story of the game. Aleshia Ocasio, who missed last week's action, has returned with a vengeance. She has allowed just 1 hit. That was a single with 2 outs in the 6th. Trying to twirl a shutout. Clifton offers at it 1-1. We did some quick math, and we believe if this score holds and Team Warren wins, that Aleshia Ocasio will get more than likely 264 points for her work today.
That's crazy. She'll be heading up. Hey, I love that, though. The fact that you can take a week off but still find yourself scooting up. Obviously, we have to see how this game plays out, but just shows the pure dominance she brings to the table in the circle. She's performing. She's keeping them off balance. She's hitting great spots. I mean, she's just given up 1 hit. That's tough to do in this league. As much as I would like to toot my own horn and think that that would be possible, this league is very difficult. The hitters are so good and they're consistent.
Little number, third base side. What a cannon. Jessi Warren throws out Clifton, 1 down. What a weapon defensively Warren is. The reason we came up with that 264 number for Ocasio, you get 50 points for winning a game. If they win this inning, that means that they'll win every single inning of the game. That's 70 innings, 70 points. We're thinking if she pitches this well and wins the game on the shutout, she would probably be MVP 1, which gets 60 points. And if she gets all 21 outs, that's 21 times 4, which is 84. Add it all together, and 264-point game, which is stunning.
Booyah.
Without even doing anything with a bat in her hands. Remember, she's batted and went 0 for 2. Sam Fisher drives it to right field. This one is gone. A homer for Fisher. That spoils the shutout. And don't look now, but they still got a pulse. Team Reed is within 1. That home run means that Team Reed has won all 6 of the last innings. That's 60 points.
And that's what I was just thinking. I was wide-eyed as ever when that hit the scoreboard, because that was not only the 40 points for Sam Fisher with the bomb, but the 60 points as well. That is a 100-point at-bat for Sam Fisher. That's huge. And she was flying around the base pass, like almost sprinting. And she's not a sprinter, so that just means her pure excitement.
Gobbled up by Warren. What a play. Sammy Fagan swings, hits it hard, but to the wrong person. And there are now 2 outs. Wow, how deflating is that for Team Warren? So Team Warren has a chance to win this game, but actually lose the amount of team points that are available, because 6 of the innings have been won and will be won by Team Reed. We're in the bottom of the 7th, so Team Warren can't answer. Here's Jasmine Jackson trying to keep the game alive. Little half swing, and that'll get into center field. Solid single for Jackson. Look at her go for 2! And Jackson, what a great base running play. She gets into scoring position. Oh, that looked like an easy single, but she said, nope, I'm taking 2.
And this is just so clutch, right out of the box. You know she has a lot of speed, but it's putting herself in a position right now for someone to step up. Oh, it just happens to be the RBI leader in Hannah Flippin with that clutch RBI at second base, so she's able to score her. This is a tie ball game.
So Flippin 0 for 3. She's put the ball in play all 3 times. Nothing to show for it. A pop out to first and 2 ground outs to third. She's homered in 3 straight games. A homer here would win the game for Team Reed. What a turn of events here in the 7th inning. 60 points in inning wins have gone to Team Reed, and now potentially a chance to win the ball game with a homer, at least tie it with a single or a double. Team Warren was seemingly in control. All right, here we go. Jackson, the runner, on at second, and they're going to intentionally walk Flippin. Do you agree with this?
I do. I 100% agree with this. I think that puts a force on the bases, so then it allows you to step on any base. But I mean, you look at how good Hannah Flippin has been as the weeks have continued to go on, and she's been dominant. So if I were to pick my poison, I would 100% attack Kylan Becker before I'm going to attack Hannah Flippin, because Flip's just that big time player who steps up.
Yeah, Becker seemingly not the player who's going to take the ball over the fence. So it may take a couple of hits to do some real damage, where Flippin could have ended the game with 1 swing of the bat. All right, Kylan Becker. Runner on at second is Jackson. Runner at first, Flippin. Ball 1 down low to Becker. This game has taken a turn on its heel in the last 5 minutes.
Well, we saw Piancastelli last weekend on the opposite end of this, where they were trying to have that battle back game and come from behind, and they were the first team in this inaugural season from the come behind win in the bottom of the 7th inning. So now she's on the opposite end, catching for Ocasio, feeling that pressure a little bit. Because there is, and you can kind of cut the tension with a knife a little bit. Like, I love the feeling of this big league feel. It matters so much. We got 2 down.
Little pop-up, will it be playable? Warren, foul territory, and the captain ends it. It's over. Team Warren picks up the win. A little bit disappointed in the fact that they lost those inning points, a lot of them, but they still get the 50 points for winning the game. And welcome back Aleshia Ocasio. She was missed. Shows you how dominant she is, and she comes back and twirls an absolute gem.
She was outstanding. She really was. I mean, you look at what happened in the bottom of the 7th inning, but it doesn't even matter. I mean, if you give up a home run, who cares? We saw O'Toole in the 1st inning give up 2, but both of these pitchers came to play today. Outstanding. And we couldn't be more proud for sure of Ocasio having to leave last week and then come back and just step up like she has.
To have a couple of questions with us. Alicia, congratulations, just a marvelous performance. I know you're disappointed giving up run in the last inning, but first, right out of the chute, how are you feeling? How's everyone doing?
I was feeling good. I felt fresh being away for a couple days. My arm is a little more fresh than usual. But Erika behind the plate did a phenomenal job at mixing pitches, and our defense really worked for me. So I got to give the credit to them.
Alicia, I have to ask, I mean, you were gone, but we had chatted a little bit with a couple things you did throughout the week to kind of keep you feeling this a little bit. What were some things you did to keep you in shape here?
So in quarantine, I brought a couple tennis balls. I have 3 dogs at home, so I brought oversized tennis balls so I can kind of emulate a softball. I went behind target and I played wall ball by myself just to keep my arm fresh. And I had a net as well that I used. I hit off a tee just to make sure that I was getting reps in even though I wasn't on the field with the teams.
And talk just a little bit about your team just winning today. I feel like this is the first kind of feel where it's a tight, close, fun, pressure-filled game. Talk about your team having your back and just how that felt.
Well, I live for that. I love being in the circle and pitching for my team, knowing that they have my back on defense. We have a great team through and through. Our bats weren't exactly the hottest today, but we had some really great battles and a couple home runs by Erika, Jessi. So, the weather's great outside. I feel good, and we just, we powered through and got the dub.
Alicia, congratulations. It's always a joy watching you play.
Thank you so much.